When the rest of my sheep lamb is my husband and I's busy time of year because he's a varsity baseball coach and I'm an FFA advisor. And the New York State FFA convention is in early May. And I can't take bottle lambs with me to state convention, so I timed the ewes that I figured would need assistance or potentially produce bottle lambs to lamb now, because now is when I have time. Ironic, because I don't really ever have time, but I have more time now to take care of these lambs than I do when everybody else is lambing. And that's really a selling point for my flock, because I time them to lamb during our busy time, and the moms all take care of their babies. So when this ewe was bred, it was kind of a mob breeding situation, so it's really any guess who the daddy is. I may end up submitting a DNA test on them just to see if we can figure out who daddy is, because she is 100% registrable and I want to make sure that my records are accurate. She does have a little bit of a red neck. I think that's kind of cute. But other than that red on her neck, she does have a little bit on her front legs as well, but this on her back I think is just filth that hasn't gotten cleaned off. There is my trusty assistant mingling with the lambs from last year. I have stood here and watched for a little bit, and it's hard to tell if the lamb is actually getting anything out of this, but one thing I always do, regardless of I've never seen teats that bad before, but regardless of if I see them drinking or not, if there are multiples, I typically will weigh them religiously anyway. Obviously, she's a single. In most circumstances, I wouldn't be weighing her every couple of hours, but given the situation, I do have a digital fish scale that I use along with a reusable grocery bag that I zero out on the scale and then put the lamb in it, and gives pretty accurate weights, and I can monitor it very closely. So if I notice that the lamb either is losing weight or isn't gaining, I can intervene very quickly and prevent worse things from happening. But getting an accurate scale like that, especially a digital one, is always my biggest recommendation for my students when I hear that they've had babies born and oh, it's questionable if they're eating or gaining. The scale is the biggest lifesaver for me, along with a stomach tube. But the big black mama ewe is still holding on to her babies. I'll show you her right now. And here's a good look at her udder and her vulva. I don't know, she may go by tomorrow morning. The ironic part is that we actually have a half day of school tomorrow, and then the teachers have the second half of the day as a work day. Except I have a whole lot of meetings planned. For example, one other meeting is a Zoom meeting with ag teachers from another school to explain to them our CTE endorsement process that we just completed a year and a half ago. So, and then of course there's budget meetings, and it's just here, we'll give you a work day, but we'll also put a lot of meetings in that work day. So hopefully in the morning I can get some grades in.